Hey, family, this is the Shepherd's Corner with your host, Pastor Sean. Hey, without any further ado, let's get into it. The purpose of the Shepherd's Corner is to provide guidance and instruction to those who belong to our Heavenly Abba. We have no desire to claim you as if we have authority over you. We only desire to serve as an under shepherd, being an extended hand representing the Most High God. So, without any further ado, let's go. Beloved, the stage is set and we must be sober minded. I'm going to say that again. The stage is set and we must be sober minded. Let me tell you a little bit about sheep, right? Since we are the sheep of his pastor. So, beloved, sheep are not blind, okay? But the ability to see what's in front of them is poor because of the positioning of their eyes. I'll leave it to you to research this, to find out the truth about the eyesight of sheep. All right, but the same can be said about us when it comes to our discernment. Without the Spirit of Abba leading us, we're not able to see what's in front of us correctly. Many of us see with our natural abilities, our eyes, that being emotions, ears, through our talents and abilities, through our experiences, and our intelligence. However, the stage and the plot of the enemy has been designed and set to get past our natural abilities. This is why we must be sober minded and we must be around sober minded believers led by Abba. It is vital. This is vital to our survival for what's ahead. All right. So I just want to encourage you in these days and times. There's a lot that is that's going on. There's a lot we don't even know yet that's already been set up and planned. This is going to be the ultimate test of our faith. So it is important. It is paramount that if we're going to be around people, we have to be around the type of people who have the right type of heart and the right type of mind. Let's talk about it. I want to talk to you about the characteristics of a true shepherd's heart. I want to talk to you about the characteristics of a person who has the heart of a true shepherd. We understand that, according to Psalms 23, that Adonai is our shepherd, right? And since we are subscribing to be like him and being conformed, being predestined to be conformed to his image, according to Romans 8:29, read that. I know many are familiar with Romans 8:28, but read verse 8:29, and it will let you know that we were predestined to be conformed to the image of the Most High God's Son. All right. What that means is our suffering and the things that we go through, our disciplines, our adherence to the commandments, following the word of the Most High God, it is for the ultimate purpose of conforming us to that of his Son. And he was a shepherd who loved the Father's sheep. So if we, being his sheep, have been prescribed to be like the Son of the Most High, then that means that we must carry the shepherd's heart. All right. So uh, this is a great time. I find it a great time for us to look to the Word and see uh, a blueprint of a shepherd who was called by the Most High God to shepherd the sheep, the flock of believers in Thessalonians. So I want to show you this. I want to read this to you so that we can pull out some inspiration and also get some insight on what a true shepherd looks like. All right. So, First Corinthians, third chapter, verses 2 through 8. All right. I'm going to read this. We want to read this from the New Living Translation. All right. All right. Let's go. So, this is a letter from Apostle Paul, who carries a shepherd's heart. Watch what he says. And we sent Timothy to visit you. He is our brother and Yah's co-worker in proclaiming the good news of the Messiah. We sent him to strengthen you, to encourage you in your faith, and to keep you from being shaken by the troubles you were going through. But you know that we are destined for such troubles. Remember, I said Romans 8:29. Okay? We've been destined for such troubles for the purpose of being conformed to the image of the Most High God's Son. All right, let's go on. Verse 4. Even while we were with you, we warned you that troubles would soon come, and they did, as you well know. That is why, when I could bear it no longer, I sent Timothy to find out whether your faith was still strong. I was afraid that the tempter had gotten the best of you, and that the work or our work had been useless. But now Timothy has just returned, bringing us good news about your faith and love. He reports that you always remember our visit with joy, and that you want to see us as much as we want to see you. So we have been greatly encouraged in the midst of our troubles and sufferings. Dear brothers and sisters, because you have remained strong in the faith, it gives us new life to know that you are standing firm in Adonai. All right, my dear brothers and sisters, when you look through these verses there of First Thessalonians, the third chapter, verses 2 through 8, you will see that the Apostle Paul, carrying a shepherd's heart, sent a like-minded brother in the faith by the name of Timothy, who also carried a shepherd's heart, for the purpose of checking on to see if the people in Thessalonians are still standing strong in the faith. They weren't checking to see if they were going to come to the service, or if they were going to pay some money, or anything of that nature, or check on their talents and abilities to see how they could best serve, how they could be best placed within the vision of Paul and Timothy and all those alike. No, they wanted to check on them to see if they were still standing strong, and also to strengthen and encourage them in the faith of the Most High God. They wanted to check on them to see if they were still standing strong. So many people right now want to check on one another, but it's not always for the purpose of encouragement and strengthening and admonishing people to remain in the faith, to get strong in the discipline, to carry out the commandments, to keep fasting, to learn how to fast, keep striving to learn how to pray. So many of us are trying to see what we can get out of one another, and or what's going on, what's the news, who did what, who said what, all of the above. But that is not the characteristic of a person who carries the shepherd's heart. We are living in the days and times where our faith is getting ready to be tested, and it is high time for us to be sober minded, to be vigilant. Why? Because when we look at verse 5, Apostle Paul, carrying the shepherd's heart, was concerned and afraid that the tempter, the enemy, okay, would have gotten the best of them and caused their faith to become shipwrecked, caused them to fall away from the faith, and that their work would be in vain, would be useless. See, your if you carry a shepherd's heart, your work is not in vain if the people that you have shepherded and cared for and strengthened and encouraged in their faith remain strong with and without you. As you can see in this text, Paul was not with them anymore. So another characteristic I want to pull out or show or reveal is the ability to care about someone even if you're not with them. My dear brothers and sisters, your faith is more important than seeing your face. Because if you and I remain steadfast in the faith, when we all come together, when we all are gathered up and redeemed by the King, the soon returning King, that will be the moment and the time where our hearts will be able to rejoice and we'll be together forever and ever and ever for all eternity in glory. But until then, the importance must be on the faith and not our talent, not our status quo, not gossip, not deceitfulness, but on our faith. And our faith is founded upon the word of the Most High God, his spirit, and the example of his only begotten Son, who is the soon coming and returning King. Paul was concerned that the tempter had gotten the best of them, but he was encouraged when the report came back from Timothy, who also carried a shepherd's heart, brought him good news about the faith and the love, the steadfastness in the faith and love of the Most High God. We're living in times where now Matthew 24 lets us know that the love in the hearts of many shall wax cold. But Paul got a report from Timothy about the good news of the believers that were holding fast and steadfast in the faith and love. And they also remembered the teaching. They remembered the labor. They remembered the visits, the time they had with Apostle Paul, and longed to be with him and see him just as much as he wanted to see them. This was an encouragement to Apostle Paul. Anyone you're around or anyone that you know, if they are not encouraged just to see you still in the faith, they are not carrying the true shepherd's heart. If you are not encouraged by someone continuing on in the faith, learning how to be steadfast and strong and strengthened, learning how to discipline themselves according to the discipline and the commandments of the Most High God, if you are not encouraged by that, then you don't carry the shepherd's heart. And dearly beloved, it is high time for us to check our hearts and to desire and ask the Holy Spirit, ask the Father to set us apart, sanctify our hearts, to make us more like him so that we may have a true shepherd's heart. Paul warned us in the scriptures that in the last days, there will be a great falling away. And these times are upon us. The great falling away is soon to happen at an unprecedented rate like never before. Yes, people have fallen away from the faith, but he called it the great falling away. We don't know what that looks like, family. But the one thing that we should know is what it looks like to have a shepherd's heart. And you and I, as the sheep, should carry the shepherd's heart. No matter what our title is, no matter if we're on a platform, no matter if we're on a stage, no matter if we have a big following or not, because it's not predicated on that. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High God. And so it is high time for us to desire a true shepherd's heart. Dearly beloved, again, your steadfastness in the faith of our Savior and our Father is more important than seeing one another's face. Your steadfastness in the faith is more than seeing your face. I would rather see you in heaven for all eternity than to see you and then not see you in the kingdom, or you not see me because we fell away. So I want to encourage you to desire the heart of a true shepherd and to function every day in the heart of a true shepherd. That's my time, dearly beloved. Be encouraged. And thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Shepherd's Corner. Be abundantly blessed.